Welcome. This is the new high, new lows index on NSE 500. On the NSE 500 index indicator, new high, new low is an indicator on daily and weekly periods, along with the market cap of the new high, new low index. This green and red line here, that is the market cap of the total stocks that are there in new highs or new lows. Like say we have 50 stocks in new highs on a particular day, and all the 50 stocks market cap put together is this value, and it keeps going up and down. If suppose we have stocks that are having very high market cap giving new highs, then this line will be at the high peak. Whereas if the new high is coming with only smaller stocks, then this line will be lower. So that gives us indication if the leaders are leading the market on the new high, or the smaller ones are leading. So obviously when the officers lead the battalion, the chances of victory is very high. Only the soldiers, back end people lead, they have a higher chance of retracement, retreating from the battle. So we generally publish this new high, new lows index alone, this one alone, every day. At times whenever there is some important messages, then I try to get this one, because this is a little complicated chart. In this week's info here, we were not able to publish this. Only one chart I was able to get, other one had some problems, because we are mixing nearly 4 to 5 data points together in a single chart, which oftentimes it will collapse. So that's why I thought of doing it exclusively. Again, there was some interesting information that this indicator was showing against the market. So this new high, new lows, it's one of the indicators which can be used as a support to find extremes, that is bottoms and tops in the market, so that it will help us position ourselves to either buy or book profit, or even for shorting also it can be used. So I have talked a lot about this new high, new lows indicator, and we are doing this for Nifty and NSE 500. Nifty is published in the platinum segment. Little more detail will be there in that. There we have 30 days, 90 days and 52 week. Here in NSE 500 it is only 52 week, taken on daily basis and collated at the same with weekly, so that we do analysis of both the time periods, daily and weekly, so that we get little more added confirmation if weekly also supports. So more detailed, I had talked regularly on the sessions and info here, and also written a lot about these indicators. So I'll just go to the patterns that I observed here. So now whole market, though it is melting down, there is some cushion that the market is hitting. That is, we have reached a new low compared to what we had in March 2022. So we can see here, this is a March 2022 low, and currently we have breached that low. Generally, when the market is in a new high or a new low, there is a chance that it can continue in the same direction or turn also. So if it has to continue in the same direction, it should have volume support. If volume support, that is volume is very high, then obviously it will continue in the same direction. If volume is low, then it will turn on the opposite side. If it is down, it will bounce. If it is at the top, it will reverse and take into a bearish turn. So as of now, when the indicator is giving a new low, generally the mood in the market will be, is it time to buy? And of course, media, YouTube, lot of people, all of them are crying fear. That itself shows market is at the bottom. So are we going to turn up? Obviously yes. Tomorrow, since the US market had a good recovery on Friday, likely that we are going to have a rally, and that we can see in the lower time frames. With again, there is a bounce here in the daily NHNL, that also shows there is a chance that market will go up. And also in our MCAP graph that we put, that colored graph in the stock discussions, that also showing a peak for green. So obviously it is going to turn down. So that means market is going to go up. So is it this upside that the market is going to take is going to be a very strong one, which is going to give us very big run? That's what we are able to find using this NHNL. Of course, it cannot be used in isolation. Along with some other indicators also we should use. Here I am using the moving averages. Apart from that, I am not using much, because putting more indicators here, it will clutter the charts. So here, how we use this new high, new lows is, when price comes to a lower low, if the indicator is higher on its low, that is a first indication that market is not having strength on the direction what it is going now, it will reverse. Here if we see, before talking the current situation, let's go to the previous one where it was perfectly showing a turnaround, and that happened. After Ukraine war started, market, of course, market was going down prior to that itself. It was not that only Ukraine war has created this downside. That is not the way. We have multiple conditions that is supporting this kind of prolonged depth on correction. Of course, we have not entered the bear market yet. Doesn't look like we will enter a bear market. We are going to have a broad range between the top and the bottom that is going to establish now. And whatever is the bottom that has come in the last 2 days is not the bottom. It can breach that. Similarly, the high also will not get breached for a long time to come, at least for a 9 to 12 months period. So this is going to be a very big range, and these ranges also will help us make money if we are positioned in the right direction. So should not become impulsive, not greedy, and also not fearful. Get entry at the right point and exit at the right point. That's where we can make money. Staying with long term is possible only with stocks that are there for, like, if you plan to invest in them for generations. There are a couple of stocks like that also now, but those things we will not name here. It will just prolong time. So here, as the market is reaching the bottom, it's also had a lower close in the last 2 days. Is it going to turn around? Yes, there is going to be an upside here, but it is not going to become a big swing. It will come down again. That is, when the market goes up, it will get hammered. Why? So let's see the previous instance. When Ukraine war happened, the day when it happened, that was on 23rd of February. I remember still that was a Thursday which it started, and subsequently on Friday we melted heavily and had a very strong down close. At that time, if you see the NHNL index on the daily in NSE 500, this indicator is tracked on all the NSE 500 stocks. Many stocks hit a new low that day, and the market cap of the stocks that hit new low also was very high. We can see this red line breaching the previous peaks. Subsequently, that was not the low. After this, market had a small rally about 3-4 days, and again it corrected big time. When the next bottom happened, that breached the 24th February low also. This place, when there was a new low with huge number of stock, that is the stocks that hit a new low, of course, was not equivalent to what we had on 24th of February, while the market cap of the stocks that hit new low was seriously very high. But if you see here, between the new lows index, bottom of 24th February and bottom of 7th March. 7th March was higher than what we had in 24th February, and before that the indicator went above zero and came down. This was a beautiful bullish divergence. Whenever there is divergences, that will turn the market in the reverse direction. That's what happened here. And from here, when the market gave a lower close and indicator had a higher low, on that day above the high is the time to buy the market. That high was 13,637, where I am keeping the cursor. After that, market turned up. For about a month it was up, reached a top of 15,477. What a beautiful 15% rally. This kind of rallies will keep happening till the time market bases out. Of course, even if you have 3 times, and if the range continues for a year period, and if we are able to take only 50% of this total rally that is going to happen, just say we are having 15%. Instead of 15%, let's say we are going to have a 10% rally, and out of that 50% is 5%. In all the 3 instances, if we are able to take 5% out of this total upside that the market is going to have, you make 15%. So even if the market is not going anywhere for a 1 year period, not a problem, we are going to make money. That is the use. advantage of using all these indicators and staying in the market. So after that it took a downside. Why this did not culminate into a great rally was when the new high new lows hit a divergence, the number of stocks that gave a new low was not higher than what we had on February 24th, but the market cap of all the stocks that gave new low on 7th March was very, very high. That showed that this rally will not be very strong, and that's what happened. It came to almost closer to the previous peak and it got sold off again, and now we have reached a new low compared to March 7th. We have closed below that in the last 2 days. So with a new low getting reached, is it now strong to go up? If we see the NHNL indicator here, it is hit a bottom. So old ones get negated now because this work is done. Here it is becoming new. From this bottom, though the indicator is climbing up, this shows that we are going to have a small bounce, but that will have a sell off again when the price comes to the zone. This between this black and orange line is what we call as a zone. So again, this I have talked a lot in many of our info sessions. Like the example I generally give is when you take a dog on a walk in a park. You walk on the pathway in the park. A dog can move to the left or right to the extent of the leash that you are holding. Okay, so you can imagine that you are walking in the middle of the pathway in the park and you are holding the dog with the leash. It can go left and right. It cannot go beyond where the leash can stretch it. That's what happens here also. This black line is the line where we are walking, holding the dog, and this dog moving up and down outside to the brim of the pathway is what the extremes are. So again, this is a standard deviation. Which in if you have to talk it in mathematical sense, it's standard deviation. When it is outside the mean, only to some extent it can go far away. It will collapse or come back to the mean. When it is above the moving average, after it gets stretched for some extent, it becomes overbought and it comes to the mean. Similarly, when it goes down, when it stretches downside, it becomes oversold, and that's where we are likely to have a return to mean. That's what is going to happen now in probably 1 or maybe 3 or 4 sessions, or little more than that. And after that, it can have a sell-off. Again, why it is not very powerful? We can see here this red line is higher compared to the green. Prior whatever has happened, this is at the peak. So obviously this has to come down again and go up, have a divergence. Similarly, this one should go above zero and come down, have a divergence. That's when we will have a beautiful rally coming up. Maybe this can take at least another couple of weeks. This is on the daily. Let's come to the weekly. When both supports, that is an advantage for us. The same values that we generate on a daily basis on NSE 500 on new highs and new lows is added up for the last 5 days, and this weekly data is populated. Ideal requirement here is it should go below zero and come up. So when there is a bullish divergence here, if the weekly goes below zero, that becomes very, very powerful, and the market rallies or has a very good rally. Whereas last time when the divergence happened, it was just close to zero, did not breach zero. So only direction from this indicator was the bullish divergence that it had on the NHNL. Even the market cap did not support, but after that it had a good rally, and now it's come down. When it is coming down, here again we can see this NHNL is almost close to zero. It's only 0. It's at 2 now. It's just about close to zero. Chances are it can breach. Don't know if the market is going to develop such big strength to have a very good rally. This will have a penetration below zero. If suppose it is not going below zero, only daily is going up above zero and coming down has a bullish divergence, then probably we are going to have a similar kind of rally what we had in March to April. So as of now, market is likely to go up, but it is going to be a sell-off again when it comes to value zone. Value zone for NSE 500 is 14,400, 14,100. That's anything above 14,100 when the index goes. Look for selling opportunity. Of course, you have to sell only large cap stocks in futures to gain. What you can do here is, if you are having holding stocks and they are also having the similar pattern. Look for selling and buying back them again. That way you can reduce the cost of holding in the stock. So like this, lot of strategies can be followed, and all these what I talk here is for investors who are going to stay with the market for a longer period, like 15-20 years. So you can keep on making money. So not for those people who come in, want to trade and make money every day. That is impossible. Somebody who talks about it, they will not talk about their negative stories, only positive stories they will talk. Without negative, it cannot happen. Again, I will give generally examples here. Like say, suppose you are having a hotel. In the morning, based on the previous days, a couple of days or history of whatever days consumers you are consuming food in your hotel, the hotel is going to prepare food. What is the guarantee that all the food that is prepared is going to get sold off? Chances are sometimes it can be oversold, and at the late night, people who come for food will not have food, or we would have done a little more that can go waste, unconsumed. So losing the customers when they come and see there is no food, that is also a loss. And similarly, when product is not consumed, we cannot keep it for next day. It will become stale and we have to throw it. So that is also a loss. So obviously, in any business, there is going to be losses. Without losses, you cannot do a business. Similarly, even trading or investing is also a business. We have to have losses. Only thing here is your winning days or winning trade should be giving you better returns to take care of the losses and ensure you are profitable. Okay, that can happen only if we have a plan and follow that plan with discipline. For those who are wanting to come and have only the josh of the market, just to do some trades, sell and buy and have the fun, for them they can do anything. If you are serious about making money, have a plan and follow that plan with very, very disciplined manner. We can, and obviously we are going to make money. It's my experience. For the past 33 years I've been in the market. Out of that, last I think 13 years I've been making money in the market. Prior to that, only losses. I was also the same. Every day I used to use a new strategy. Want to do one trade now in a different pattern, next something else. Somebody says something, go and buy that. All those things were there. Kept on losing consistently. Frustration was there. At times it used to feel like, is this required for us? Why should we do this? Kind of thought also used to come. But yeah, destiny was there and it has been working very well now. Of course, why it is working is only one strategy I have and I follow that with discipline. It's not that every day I am making money, but whatever profits we make is far, far greater than what we lose. That's how it is strategy. If you have a plan, you cannot but make money. Like Robin Sharma says, if you are doing your activity for 10,000 hours in your life, any activity, you cannot but become a genius in it. The only problem we are not becoming genius. Most of the people are not becoming geniuses. They don't follow that 10,000 hours of working. The day we come in, we want to make money. That is impossible. It requires its own time to learn. Like for those I was talking about wanting to have joes, adrenaline rush, there are a lot of activities in you go to a theme park, water park, big rides are there where we can get few minutes of adrenaline rush, josh, and that's it. Like that one example I used to tell about this Ferrari World in Yash Islands in Abu Dhabi. For those who had gone there, at least for those who are residing in Middle East area, they would have seen that place. There is one ride where you can sit in a ride which will give us the experience of having a Ferrari car drive. In reality, can we do that drive? Only those who have that experience and have a track to do that can do it, right? Same way, for those who are having a plan and willing to follow the plan with discipline, they are going to make money, that is for sure. And the kind of money that you can make in stock markets is sky is the limit. I am telling with experience. The kind of satisfaction and the amount of money you can make is huge, while that requires lot of effort. Okay, these are some learnings which I had. I'm sharing it here again this week. I want to put this is because when 2 or 3 days market starts going up, immediately media, newspapers, TV channels, YouTube, everybody will start talking up straight opposite of what they were talking in the last few days. Suddenly they will think that whole joshes come into the market, you have to buy the market, all nonsense they will talk, and afterwards when it goes down, again they will talk rubbish. Like I think 2-3 days back I read in the newspaper that small caps are beaten badly. Obviously it has to be beaten. The kind of returns that the sector segment is given is huge. At that time those were same people who are writing, they don't have the guts to write because they were not in it. Even today they are not in it. They are just writing to make people fearful. That's what newspapers and media do, only give negative news. And obviously even in YouTube also most of the titles will be giving fear. That way they want to cover audience or make people fearful. By doing that, the enjoyment of the work is not there. So probably we don't do regular videos, only if there is something positive we want to talk there. That when we have that objective, obviously we are not going to have everyday positive activities. Like every day is not a joyful day. Similar with the market also. When joyful days come, let's enjoy it. When it is going into sad mood, let's also participate in the flow. If you cannot stand in the opposite direction of a reverse flow and expect to reach the other side of the river, obviously you will not be able to do. 1 or 2 steps only you can take and keep. The current will push you. Similarly, in case if you are standing in the flow of the river, you need not put any effort. 1 step, you just lift your leg, you will be transported 3 or 4 steps forward. That way, very less effort and reach the goal faster. So being with the flow is good. When the market is in the upward flow, if suppose we are only going to buy the market, that is only long side participation. When the market is going up, participate in the market. When the market is going down, move away, book profits, have wait in the sidelines and for the next opportunity. So market is not going to run away. This range is going to stay as of now, because none of the indicators are giving the required amount of strength. Again, don't use all these indicators on isolation. Along with NHNL, I use the moving averages and MACD and histogram. Similarly, a lot of people use RSI and stochastics kind of things. Whatever traditional indicators you use, along with that, NHNL can be a support indicator which can give us or help us take decisions better. So at this point, when March 7th happened, a lot of indicators were not giving a buy signal, while NHNL supported it. Along with, like in this place, histogram was giving small weakness, and along with that, this NHNL support helped us get the confidence to buy the market, which went up around 15%. So like how I keep telling, in a sideways consolidation market, which is not going to go up in a hurry, it is going to make up and down movements. Like currently we are going to expect this similar kind of moves for at least 9 to 12 months. So that means at least 2 or 3 this kind of up and down movements are going to be there. Let's say here we had 15% rally. Out of this rally, if we are making 50%, we are not buying the bottom, not selling the bottom, top also. In between we bought and in between we sold. If we make 50% of this kind of rallies, let's say this is 15%. If it is going to be only 10% also, and in that if we make 5%, and in a year if we have 3 rallies like that, calculate it. 5% on every rallies, you make 15%. So in spite of market not doing anything over a long period, you are going to make money, right? This is how the strategies work. I don't know whether I repeated the same thing here, because in my recordings, previous recording, I was doing a rehearsal. So maybe I would have repeated the same content. So presently market is not so very bullish, but we are going to have a bounce which can reach to the zone. The zone for NSE 500 as of now on daily is 14,100, 14,400. When the index goes above 14,100, NSE 500, look for profit booking or shorting. If you have higher capital, you can short the stocks that are having the similar pattern. Or if you are holding some stocks for long term, you can look for selling them and buy back when it comes down. So that, say suppose you are holding a stock at 2,000 rupees, and if this next sell off and buyback helps you get on 200 rupees gain, that means your holding cost is going to become 1,800. Of course there will be taxes on that. Set aside that and only buy for the rest, so that your profits is tax booked. That is another advantage. Like this, lot of opportunities are there. If we keep thinking and working on the markets, we can find enough number of opportunities. So with that I'll close. When this indicator goes up and comes down, forms a pattern and ready to go up, at the time I will also post one more video with this indicators. Thank you.